Good morning. How's everybody doing today? Hope everybody's doing well. My name is John. I work with Super Ego Holding. I've been with them for 3 months now. It's like my 3-month check-in. I've been doing videos, and I talk about all the negativity that I hear, and I'm so tired of the negativity. The one thing I can say is fact is there are a lot of haters out there. Most of the haters that you run into are people who tried to do this program or a similar program and didn't make it. One thing that's very true with this business, there's a saying that says, whether you believe you can or you believe you can't, you're correct. If you believe you can't and you let all that negativity get to you, you're not even going to put in your best effort and you ain't going to make it. If you believe you can, chances are you're going to give it your 100% and you're going to fight and try to find a way to make it work. Okay. There are a lot of reasons why people don't make it at Super Ego. One of the biggest reasons is they don't put forth the effort. They take advantage of the benefits, like going home all the time. You can't make money if you're sitting at home watching TV. You can't. And these people will never they'll never take responsibility. They make excuses. They blame somebody else. Always blame somebody else. Some people don't take the time to actually learn what it is you need to know to make money, like what the numbers mean. They just see the big number and without looking at the details. Devil's always in the details. Big number don't mean shit. Devil's always in the details. I'll give you an example. I could have a $8,000 gross week and make $2,000, or not take home $2,000, or I could have a $5,000 gross week and take home $2,000. The difference is the details. Always about the details. As I've said before, when you come to Super Ego, you are not an employee of Super Ego. Super Ego works for you. Super Ego is your financier, is your creditor. You're buying a truck and a trailer. Super Ego finances you for the truck and the trailer. You need repairs, you need fuel, things like that. Super Ego credits you the repairs and the fuel. And how they guarantee the payback is they have created a one-stop shop. So your brokerage, your insurance, all that just goes through them. And as the loads are paid, that goes through them. They take their money out. Once they take their money out, they give you what's left. That's your payout. It's not a paycheck. That's your payout. And with that payout, they give you a full breakdown of what your gross income was for that week and what they took out. Truck payment, trailer payment, insurance. You had 4 fuel stops for $500 each, $2,000 in fuel. You had a tire that had to be replaced. You got your tire, and then you get your payout. You get what's left. So it's as if you are running a business on your own, only instead of you having to be responsible for each little detail, they are taking care of the details for you. You don't have to worry about making your insurance payment. They're making the insurance payment for you. You don't have to worry about, am I going to have enough money to fix this tire? They're going to pay it for you, and then they're going to collect their money afterwards from what you make. When I first started with Super Ego, I saw the potential. I liked it. I like a challenge. I liked it. There were guys who started with me who I exchanged numbers with who didn't make it. They were complaining that, this wasn't right, that wasn't right. Their check was only $7. I never got a check less than $500 when I was first starting out. Very quickly, my checks went up over $1,000. As of right now, looking at my past month, I feel like things are really coming together right now. My lowest check was $1,700. My highest check was $2,600 for 1 week. My other two checks were a little over $2,000. This week, I'm doing my last drop for this week right now, being unloaded right now. This week, if everything totals out, the way things total out, I'll be somewhere around $3,000. This will be my best check. The money is there. To get to the money, you have to have the knowledge. If you don't have the knowledge, you have to ask somebody. If you don't want to ask somebody, if you want to come in here and acting like, you know everything and you're going to reinvent the wheel, you're not going to do well. You're not going to do well. The numbers are what makes a difference. I like it here at Super Ego. I hear a lot of people, you can't make money, you can't make money. No, you can't make money because I'm making money. And like I said, there's a lot of haters. You can't feed into the haters. You can't feed into the haters. You gotta be able to stand up on your own feet and make your own decisions. If you decide to do it, take responsibility for what you're deciding to do and put forth the effort. If you decide not to do it, then don't do it. But don't make excuses for it. Take responsibility. Now, when I say the numbers, I got another video I did on numbers, but I'm going to touch on that again. When your dispatcher contacts you for a load, or you look on the load board and you see a load, you'll see a total price. For example, $6,000. This load pays $6,000. That's what the load pays, but that's not your number. Because the brokerage side, the dispatch side of Super Ego gets 25%. So you see $6,000, your cut is $4,500. Okay. Now from that $4,500, you got your truck payment. Truck payment will be, depending on truck you get, anywhere from $900 to $1,300. Now when I say that's a week, now when I say truck payment, every week you got a payment for your truck, you got a payment for your trailer, you got your tractor insurance, you got your trailer insurance. You've got expenses that come out every week. That's all part of your truck payment. Once a month, you have an additional $600 that comes out for your cargo insurance. Also part of your truck payment. So that comes out. Okay. So, like, let's say you take this $6,000 load and it's a 5 days to deliver. That's your week. You got 2 more days where you can try to get something, but that's pretty much your weeks. So you got to make sure that this is going to cover what you got to cover. So let's round the payment at $1,500. So you got $1,500 that comes out to the super ego for the 25%. You got $1,500 that comes out for your truck payment. So on a $6,000 load, you're looking at $3,000. Now what's going to make a difference is your fuel. Okay. If the load's 1,000 miles, fuel's going to cost you $500. You got 3,000 left minus $500. You're taking home $2,500. Boom, that easy. If it's a 3,000 mile load, and you're putting in $500 for every 1,000 miles, it's another $1,500 is gone. You're taking home $1,500. If it's a heavy load, like this load right here, when I weighed my truck out, I was at 79,600. If it's a heavy load, you're doing $500 for about every 800 miles. So you're filling it up 4 times on 3,000 miles, 4 times on 3,000 miles. That's $2,000. You take home $1,000. It's all about the details. If you don't know the details, if you just look at the big number, $6,000, you fuck yourself. So, for example, let's say you get a load that goes from Washington State to Florida. You running about 4,000 miles at that point, pay $6,000 a heavy load. You're looking at 800 miles to $500 in fuel. 800 goes into 4,000 5 times. So you're filling a tank up 5 times, $2,500. Pay $6,000. $1,500 goes in, $1,500 goes to your truck payment. That leaves you $2,000. Leaves you $3,000. $2,500 in fuel leaves you $500. They're gonna give you 5 days, 6 days to deliver. That's your week. Can't eat on $500 a week. Can't pay your bills. Numbers make a difference. But let's say you get a $6,000 load, and it's still heavy. 800. So you're looking at $500 for every 800 miles. But it's only going to the Midwest. 1,400 mile run. Let's say 2,000 mile run. Now it's $1,500. Now you're back to taking home $1,500. So the $6,000 that's paying out, that's not what's going to make the difference. Plus, if you're going out to the Midwest, you can do that run in 2-3 days. That leaves you 4 more days to make more money. Your truck payment just came out of that. So everything else you make, all you're paying for is fuel. Once your truck payment's made, all you're paying for is fuel. My goal is to have my truck payment paid for within the first 3 days of the week. Whether I do day runs or I do a long run, whatever. In fact, my preference isn't to do long runs. Everybody says, long runs where it's at. That's where the big money is. No, that's where your week goes. I don't want to put my whole week on one run. My prices are high. You better pay me a lot of money to dedicate my whole week to one run. That's facts. So the devil's in the details. You have to take in consideration your mileage. You have to know what your miles are going to cost you. What's your fuel expense going to be? You have to factor in the time it's going to take to deliver the load. You have to, because all this affects you. All this affects you. If you have a load that takes, again, it takes 5-6 days to deliver, that's your week. That means all your money has to come off that one trip. If all your money's coming off that one trip, you've got fuel, you've got truck payment, you've got all your expense, everything got to come off of that one trip. And when you factor everything out, if you're not sitting with the $2,000, $3,000 after everything's factored out, I wouldn't take that load. Some people will. But let's say you take that load and it's only paying $1,000 and you get a flat tire. Not only do you get a flat tire, but you bent your rim when the tire blew. That's what, $700 some odd dollars? There goes your $1,000. So now you're driving all week for $300. So when you do a run, you got to make sure that the run makes sense. You got to make sure that, set you a daily goal. If your goal is to make $500 a day, it takes 5 days to deliver. That means when you factor everything out, you should be sitting at no less than $2,500. If you're doing 1 day runs, by the time you factor everything out, you should have no less than $500. When you factor out your math to know what your daily goal is. If your daily goal is only $250, it gives you more room to do more runs. If your daily goal is $1,000 a day, well, then, you got to make sure the numbers add up. But the numbers are in the details. I don't even look at the big number till after I look at the details. I look at the details. It's a 3,000-mile run. The weight on it is 1,500 pounds, so that means I'm burning, for every 1,000 miles, I'm burning $500. That means it's $1,500. It's a 4-day run. That means that my truck payment's got to come out of here. It's another $1,500. $500 a day. That's $2,000. So now I'm at $5,000 for this run. So that payment for that load, that big number, has got to be well over $5,000 because they get their 25% too. So that's got to be minimum $6,500. At $6,000, remember I did the numbers, they get $1,500. It leaves me $45. Take out my $1,500 for fuel. That's $3,000. Take out my truck payment. That's $4,500. Am I good with that? Well, it's only 4 days. My truck payment's made. I consider that money profit because my truck payment's made, which gives me 3 more days to make money. Now, that run I just described, that's probably the least amount that I'd run that run for. I'd tell my dispatcher he needs to bid on that to get it higher. I really would. But if he says there ain't budget and there's someplace I really want to go to, I'll run it for $6,000. Because my bills are paid. And if I'm trying to get somewhere, I'm trying to get somewhere for a reason, so I got some money coming in on the next 3 days. Another thing that you got to keep in mind is that, once again, you are not an employee of Super Ego. You're not. You work for yourself. Super Ego doesn't have an HR department for the drivers. They have customer support. You know why they have customer support? Because you are their customer. You are their client. You are the one that they are giving credit to. They are financing you. You don't work for Super Ego. You work for yourself. So with that being said, if you get it, you should know what you want as far as loads. You should know where you want to go as far as loads. You should know what's popping and what's not popping. You do your homework. So if you know that, for example, Idaho has got a need and they paying $4 a mile coming out of Idaho, then you want to let your dispatcher know, hey, that's where I want to go. And your dispatcher's got to figure out how to get you there. If a dispatcher sends you a load and it's not one that you're comfortable with, it's not one that's got enough money, it's not one, you have the right to tell your dispatcher no. He works for you. If your dispatcher can't figure out what it is you want to do or what you're trying to do, then you can contact your fleet manager and say, hey, I want a different dispatcher. This dispatcher cannot do my job. And if the fleet manager won't do anything about it, you call your customer support. And they will. They'll get you a new dispatcher. They work for you. You don't work for them. When you see a lot of these people that talk their shit, they sound like employees. That's problem number one. They made me fix my truck. It should be their truck. It's a company truck. No, it's your truck. You don't work for the company. You work for you. If I had to say Super Eagle was making a mistake, I would say that the mistake is they don't make everybody go out there and get their own LLC. If they made everybody go get their own LLC, then the misunderstanding of employee versus customer would be cleared up, because now you're working under your LLC. When Super Eagle hires you, they don't hire you, they qualify you. They want to make sure that, one, you're able to drive, so if they give you the opportunity, you can make your money. They want to make sure that you're not going to be a problem, so they want to make sure you're not doing drugs, you're not an alcoholic. They're going to check your record to make sure that you're not out there crashing trucks left and right. They're going to qualify you. And when they qualify you, if you meet the requirements, they will give you an opportunity. They don't hire you. You don't work for them. And when they give you the opportunity, you will go to the office and you will sign contracts, financial agreements, credit contracts. You don't sign an employee packet. You don't sign a welcome to Super Eagle Holding, here's your HR. No. You sign contracts. Because you work for yourself, you go where you want to go. I picked up my load and it came to Texas. I knew I had 4 days to do it. I could do the run in 2 days, no big deal. I routed myself through my hometown. I went home, saw my family. While I was there, I got one phone call. Hey, we noticed your truck's not moving. You okay? Yeah, I'm good. I'm here visiting with my family. Can I help you with anything? No, we just wanted to make sure. Have a nice day. Boom, done. You work for a company? Oh, you went off route, did you? But no. You don't have a route. You work for yourself. You go the way you want to go. You do it the way you want to do it. As long as you were there to deliver that load on time, that's all that counts. Because your responsibility in working for yourself is to deliver that load. That's the way that works. Excuse me 1 second.
You gotta get a signature.
Signature?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There we go.
Stay anywhere.
Yeah. Just make it look nice.
For the girls I hang out with,
That's all that counts. All right. Thank you very much,
thanks,
boss.
man. Have a good one.
You too. All right. And that's it. You know, you work for yourself. You go where you want to go. You do it how you want to do it. As long as you were there in time to deliver that load, that's all that matters. That's all that matters. They're not gonna hold your hand and, you know, well, did you brush your teeth today? No, they're not gonna do that. They don't care. They care about the money coming in, because the money coming in has got to cover the money they're putting out. That's all they care about. The financial agreement, the financial contract. And as long as you on your job, they don't really care about that. I had a week that my truck was down. I couldn't make my truck payment based on what I had coming in because my truck was down. I didn't get one phone call about not making a truck payment. My next check, I got $300 deducted for this week. Check after that, $600 deducted for this week. Until it was all paid. They didn't even take it all out at once. I still had a check. So they're not your employer. And I can't stress that enough. You do not work for Superego. You are a customer. You are a client. You work for yourself. The money you make will depend on what you're willing to do for yourself. If you're not willing to do for yourself, you're not going to make no money. If you're not willing to take responsibility and be accountable for yourself, you're not going to make no money. If you do decide to do these things, the money is in the numbers. The money is in the details. And as long as you pay attention to the details, you're going to make your money. Anyway, I got to roll. You guys have a blessed day. Stay safe out there. Talk to you next time.